বাংলা টিভি চ্যানেলগুলির সাথে প্রথমবার চ্যানেল এস একটা আছে, ওই বাংলাদেশ শ্রীলঙ্কার সিরিজ হলো, ওখানে আমি প্রেজেন্টার ছিলাম। তারপরে বাংলা টিভিতে ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ 2007 ওইখানে টিভি প্রেজেন্টার ছিলাম। তো এগুলিও করেছি, সব করেছি। আর আমি আলিগড় ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়া অবস্থায় আমার একটা বই বেরিয়েছিল ক্রিকেটের উপরে, বিশ্বের সেরা ক্রিকেট ও ক্রিকেটার। It was widely acclaimed. However, আস্তে আস্তে you have to get rid of this. Focus on your area. যখন আমি when I went to Aligarh Muslim University, আমি জাহাঙ্গীর ইউনিভার্সিটিতে 2 বছর পড়েছি, 1 বছর পড়েছি, sorry. I started in 1988 and then in 1989 for some reason I could not continue. So Aligarh University পরে আরো 1 বছর লস দিয়ে I had to go to Manarat International University. Going there completely changed my life because I saw some inspirational teachers and I fell in love with my subject, which is linguistics. So there are some people, no one even heard of linguistics at that time. Okay, what the English stuff. All right, okay. At that time, no one heard anything about linguistics. And I took linguistics. People even didn't know. আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস আপনি কোন সাবজেক্ট পড়েন? I was linguistics. বলি কি sticks? So they used to ask me, why did you take this subject? আমার answer ছিল একটাই, because I fell in love with it. So one example is, this is my first love, is my subject. And if you're an academic, you have to love your subject. This is foundational. If you don't love it, if you do it for a job, this is not your area. But আমি যদি অন্য জব করতাম, আমার financially I would have been much better. But I can't even think of any other career than this one. এটা হচ্ছে passion. And because my teachers inspired me, I'll tell a very small story. How much time do you have? An hour? Okay.
1 hour and 50 minutes.
Okay. A very small story, but this is so significant in shaping my career and how teachers can inspire you. One of my teachers is still there in Aligarh University and keeps contact. He sent me quite a few PhD theses to examine. So, phonetics and phonology class chilo, and the previous, that was first couple of weeks. 2 chapter moddhe ghotona. So he asked us to memorize cardinal vowels list মুখস্থ করতে বলেছে। আমার সোশিয়োলজি ছিল আমার একটা সাবজেক্ট, আমি সোশিয়োলজির একটা এক্সাম ছিল, I was too busy, I forgot about it. ক্লাসে আসছি, আসার পর বলে অলরাইট cardinal vowels, Salman come and tell me. আমি তো কিছু প্রিপারেশন করি, আমি বলে যে সরি স্যার I forgot. I was যারা ক্লাসে পড়ানোর যারা করেছে এবং একটা করে পরে কিন্তু এটা তো বেশি না, কার্ডিনাল ভার্বস মনে রাখতে তো সময় লাগে না। যারা পিছনের দিকে তারা কিন্তু বাই দ্যাট টাইম দে লুকড এন্ড দে কুড ডু ইট। আই ফেল্ট সো ব্যাড। এবং এখানে তারা করে তারপরে হি সেড সাম ভেরি স্ট্রং ওয়ার্ডস দ্যাট ডোন্ট কাম টু ইউনিভার্সিটি ইফ ইউ ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক দ্যাট স্টাডি ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট, ডোন্ট টেক দিস থিংস লাইটলি, এমন অনেক বকাবকি করুন। তো আই ফেল্ট ভেরি ভেরি ব্যাড। তো ক্লাস থেকে বেরিয়ে I was going down the stairs, আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি ডিপার্টমেন্ট 3 তলা ছিল। I was going down the stairs, তো সে আমাকে দেখে সালমান আল আজামি ডাকলো। আমি তো আরো ভয় পেয়ে গেলাম, কি বলবে, রুমে নিয়ে গেল, বললো যে what happened? I said, sir, this was the situation. If you asked me just after 3-4 people, I would have quickly had a look and to tell you the answer. I said, do you know why I called you first? Because I thought that if there was one person who would know it, it is you. এই যে কনফিডেন্স আমাকে দিয়েছিলেন উনি, that helped me so much. এবং of course if you some of you want আমার PhD story আছে, I have written on my website how my PhD supervisor helped me. You cannot imagine how a PhD supervisor can help. এবং that taught me to help my students. আমার আন্ডারে একজন PhD করেছে, আরো দুজন এখন করছে। I know how to help PhD students because my PhD teachers help me. Anyway, so that's how I got inspired. Coming back to Bangladesh, I did my honors and masters, 3 years honors, 2 years masters in Aligarh. and joined here. I came back in 1995, 96, and started teaching. October 1996, Darul Islam University was my first appointment, but I also taught at North-South. North-South are interesting. Family identity came in between, I couldn't continue. But Darul Islam Professor Sayyid Ali Ashraf late, very, very respected person. Our খুব পছন্দের মানুষ ছিল। উনি আমার আব্বাকে ফোন করে বলেছেন যে I want your son. He heard about me. Then I joined there. And I founded the English department there with late Professor Muhyiddin sir, and then developed it with late Professor Tuddin Ahmed. Then got involved in the Manarat project. In 2000, the project work started. Mr. Farid, sorry? Late Farid Ahmed, initial founding vice chancellor, he asked me to join the project team, so I worked just around 6-7 months, 8 months, I don't remember how long. And then it became university, and when they recruited the first set of faculty members, I joined here full time, and then founded the English department. So from the beginning, initially it was just English language teaching to BBA, so you were in the computer science, right? Which batch were you in? 93. So first CSC and BBA students English padatam, then we decided we have a department of English. So I had to develop the curriculum. I remember Professor Fakrul Alam from Dhaka University was the external when we developed the curriculum. And we started then teacher recruitment and all. Your former colleague Mahbub was my student in Darul Islam, so I brought him. Farzana Farzana was my student in Darul Islam, then later she joined here. And then I left in 2004, February. Until then I was the head here. I also taught at Asian University Bangladesh, National University, Northern University Bangladesh, International Islamic University Chittagong. I was the founding member of the governing council of the Dhaka campus, which is now no longer there. So, what did I do at MAU? Everything but research. Okay? I did research, of course, my PhD, but officially university part is away. I was curriculum development, teacher recruitment, admission fair hole amake responsibility dito. Sorry? Same culture is. এবং not only that, আমি যখন চলে যাই তখন আমাকে admission fair আবার দায়িত্ব দিয়েছিলাম, আমি নিলাম না যখন ভিসি স্যার খুব রাগ করেছিলেন। But I said I can't do it, sir. I have to prepare for my departure. And of course, teaching English department, BBA, MBA. Even I taught a module on Islamic studies. Life at that time, আমরা যখন প্রথম কারিকুলাম ডেভেলপ করি, Islamic studies একটা মডিউল ছিল, I don't know if it's still there, Islamic studies বলতে হবে, Life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes. I was his first teacher. ওই সময় পড়িয়েছিলাম। And one of the again ওই যে বলে না কি স্বর্গে গেলে ধান ভাঙে, এখন ক্রিকেট তো পোকা আছে। So first ever inter-private university cricket tournament in 2002, and I was the convener. I organized it with AIUB because আমার কিছু friends ছিল AIUB তে, we jointly did it, and it was a huge success. এখনো হয় cricket tournament private university? আচ্ছা, মানারাত খেলে নাকি? Okay, good. জিতে না, আমরাও জিতি না, but আমার ক্রিকেট টিমের প্লেয়াররা আমার সাথে জোর জোর রাখে। Okay, so that's not the point. When does research come? The research paper said that my PhD was completely outside. That is the problem. Whatever I did my PhD outside the remit of my university activity. My university had nothing to do with my PhD. That was an issue which I think needs to be addressed. Why is not the university involved? So in 1997, I went back to Aligarh to get. I was here. I was teaching, but then I took a few weeks off and went and took admission. Actually, my PhD supervisor. So I waited for him 1 year to get into, because Aligarh একটা নিয়ম ছিল যে a professor cannot have more than 7 PhD students at a time. Okay? And when I finished my master's, there was no vacancy, you can say. He had full 7 because he's one of the most popular, he was one of the best linguists in India. His name is Professor Ali Rifat Fatihi. Even Cornell University took him as a visiting professor for a couple of years. I told him, sir, I'll do PhD only under you. I'll wait as long as it takes. Then he told me that I'm free now. You can apply. So I applied and I went and took admission. There is a requirement that you should stay because it's a PhD it's not PhD by coursework, PhD by research. So you don't have to be physically present. There's no coursework thing. So my department allowed me to stay in Bangladesh and do my PhD because you can do twice a year. Our annual leave chilo. Majority of them was taken for my PhD work. So I chole jetam, research kortam. But there was no encouragement, no incentive. I mean, just with due respect to all the MIU authorities and everything, I isn't here. It was not a culture. So no one bothered. I mean, PhD course. Chada jane ami PhD course. But no one bothered to ask what's going on. PhD course, how is it going? No one. That's not a part. So I hope it's changed now. I hope. We want more PhD staff members and whatever. So too much workload. Okay? Admin work. Teaching. Admin. Teaching and admin, right? Where is time for research? Okay? Research culture today. What do you mean by research culture? You have at a university, this is research culture. You organize academic events. You organize, seminars. You organize events where academics will come, talk, inspire you. Where is that? Hardly anything. So এটা ছিল না. Not only that, I mean, your PhD thesis submit করতে যাই, I had to stay a bit longer than I expected, and then my salary was cut because of it. Okay. So I was told, you stay 2 weeks extra, you will get okay. No, if it's part of the rule, what can I do? Then the eventual thing came that when I got into this postdoctoral research position at the university in the UK, so it was just for initially 6 months, it took me 8 months. So I asked for 6 months unpaid leave. Okay? But এখানে এসে ইউনিভার্সিটিকে ক্রিটিসাইজ করাটা ঠিক না, but I have nothing against them, to be honest. I have nothing against them because they thought about the university. আমি তো মনে করেছিলাম যে আমাকে আনপেড লিভ আমাকে দিবে, তারপর আমি এসে I'll come back and then join. No, you are the head of the department, you are indispensable. Actually, no one is indispensable. To be honest, আমি রেজিস্ট্রার সাহেব বলেছিলাম যে যখন বলে ছুটি দেয় না, আমি বলছি আমি যাবো, আপনারা যদি মনে করেন যে রিজিক আপনাদের হাতে, আমি আরেকজনকে রাজ্জাক মানি। ওকে, don't worry, I will go. You can't stop me from going. I will resign and go. Then I resigned and I went. Okay. So anyway, one of the trustees later realized that, and he said, sorry বলেছেন পরে। আমি তো আপনার sorry বলা লাগবে না। At that time I was a bit hurt. Students এখানে আন্দোলন শুরু করে দিয়েছে। I had to stop them. Okay, there was some commotion here among the students. So আমি এটাকে মানারাতের কোনো প্রবলেমের কথা বলছি না, কারণ university will think from their perspective, and I don't blame them at all, because the culture, they are not into the culture. Because research, university teacher research করবে, postdoctoral করতে যাবে, wonderful. আমাদের টিচার postdoctoral করে একটা অনেক এক্সপেরিয়েন্স নিয়ে আসবে, wonderful, go.
How long will it take to be cultured?
It's not about Manarat. It's a Bangladeshi thing. I hope it's changed. I don't know. To be honest, আমি কিন্তু বাংলাদেশের 19 years পরে আসছি। ঢাকা শহর চিনি না, আমার জন্মের শহর। কোথায় যে ড্রাইভারে বলবে কই যাচ্ছে, এটা কোন রোড, এটা কোথায়। এই বানারাতে আসতে আমার গুগল ম্যাপ দিয়ে আসতে হয়েছে। আমি আমার ফাদার ইন ল আমার সাথে আসছি, উনি আসতেছে। So I told him that Can you imagine? I taught this at this university for so long, but now I have to use Google Map to come to my university.
And Manarat is saying.
Now, once I entered this road, then I remember, okay, this is where I used to come. So, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে এটা কালচারের ব্যাপার, বাংলাদেশের কালচার। I don't know Bangladeshi research culture কতটুকু চেঞ্জ হয়েছে. If I search the internet in terms of academic publications, I don't see any, to be
There are
honest.
few private university actually that are.
আচ্ছা, about Bangladesh কেন্দ্রিক রিসার্চ আমি খুব বেশি দেখি না, হয়তো তারা অন্য এরিয়াতে রিসার্চ করে। Not a lot about this is one of the things I want to talk about. So that's why I come. Why am I telling this? Because personally I'm monitoring. When I went to, as I said, because of my family identity, I lost 3-4 years of my academic life. I mean, school থেকে শুরু করে school, তারপরে university, 4 years I lost. So আমি যখন 2004 in UK তে যাই, that is the time actually my actual academic activity started. Because I don't even consider my PhD as academic activity. Of course it is. But PhD is just a beginning. When you complete your PhD, it just gives you a certificate that yes, you can do research. Okay? Because if I look back to my PhD thesis, no, I got my PhD degree in 2002, 22 years ago. If I look back at it, I say, what did I do? How terrible it was. কি করছি এটা একটু বলো কিছু। এখন I would be very different. কারণ this is the learning process. And I got inspired about how to do PhD, what a PhD takes, and what is research. So, he's my father-in-law, professor very distinguished professor of statistics and operation research and research methodology. Research methodology Bangladesh's top expert in একজন. It's not because he's my father-in-law, it's because he is there. And already the Dean of Science has talked to him and booked him to come and do some research methods talk, seminar, inshallah. And you'll be hugely benefited. But on top of that, I just want to let you know, please pray for him. He's doing a very important work for the last 5-6 years. He's completely dedicated. আমি ওনাকে জিজ্ঞেস করছি আপনি পদ্মা ব্রিজ গিয়েছেন? আমার সময় কই? কারণ পদ্মা ব্রিজে যাওয়ার সময় নাই, he is working on hidden sciences in the Quran, not the obvious one যেগুলি আমরা জানি। কোরআনের লাইনে লাইনে কোথায় কোথায় সায়েন্স লুকিয়ে আছে, এটার উপরে একটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট কাজ করছে। So you need to listen to him on that as well, inshallah. And make dua that Allah lets him complete that. So at the age of 38, I actually started my research, I would say. That means a lot of you have still a lot of time. So start early. Okay, you have to be serious and university authorities. Authorities you are like in a shobai. Is it being recorded? They should listen to it. Yeah. Record হচ্ছে Zoom এ
এই রেকর্ড হচ্ছে না
Dean আছে হবে না
আচ্ছা deans are in court. Deans are part of the syndicate, right? Sorry, I don't want to put you in this situation. So now আপনারা মেসেজটা পাঠিয়ে দিবেন। What I want to say is not basically I'm not blaming anyone. What I want to say that we want to develop a research culture, right? So what to do about it? Okay? Heads, yes. No one should be spared.
Teachers are also liable because
No, I'm coming to that. Don't think that my university never inspired me.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop me from doing my PhD.
Yes.
I took my salary cut. I completed it. Okay. But that's what I'm saying, that when you start doing more research at the age of 38, what happens? Your family grows. You have more responsibilities, right? And then it becomes difficult. Still, I'm trying my best. But this shouldn't happen to anyone, not only in this room, anywhere in Bangladesh. Because we are lacking, if you just compare, Aligarh Muslim University আমি পড়েছি 3 years undergraduate, 2 years masters, then PhD, right? Every single, আমি যখন মাস্টার্স করতাম তখন আমি নোটিস করেছি আন্ডারগ্রাজুয়েটরা আমার ডিপার্টমেন্ট সেমিনার লাইব্রেরিতে যেতে পারে, পোস্ট গ্রাজুয়েটে যেতে পারে। Every month there would be 2 PhD viva, and this PhD viva would be in front of all postgraduate students. আমারটা হয়েছে in front of 40 people. আমার ইন্টারমিডিয়েট ভাইবা যেটা হচ্ছে PhD ভাইবা in front of 40 people. যারা সবাই শুনতেছে এবং এক্সামিনাররা আমাকে কোয়েশ্চেন করছে 2 hours of rigorous questioning. Okay, but I was inspired কারণ I used to listen to those interviews, PhD vivas. তো ওখানে যে কালচার PhD হয়ে যাচ্ছে, রেগুলার PhD ডিগ্রি সব ডিপার্টমেন্ট, শুধু আমাদের ডিপার্টমেন্ট, অল ডিপার্টমেন্টস, এটা তো একটা কালচারের ব্যাপার, তাই না? তো ইন্ডিয়াতে যদি এটা হয়, বাংলাদেশে এটা আছে, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য প্রবলেম। ঢাকা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে হয় এরকম ভাবে, তো দ্যাটস দ্য প্রবলেম। অফকোর্স মানে যারা ঢাকা ইউনিভার্সিটি পড়েছেন তারা জানেন। So I have taken a mission, particularly with the change of situation. আগে যা মনে হতো ভাই বাংলা ভাষা বলতে পারি তো, বাংলাদেশে যখন যে পলিটিক্যাল ক্লাইমেট ছিল, you know, I remember when শাহবাগে যে যা হচ্ছিল একসময়, I used to tell my wife at that time, TV দেখতাম, বললাম ভাই ওরা আমাকে বাংলা ভাষা বলতে দিবে তো? So that was a situation we were in, but the situation we are in now, I feel that I'll try my best, আমার যতটুকু আল্লাহ সামর্থ্য দিয়েছে, to inspire young people to become active researchers, and that is the purpose of আমি নিজে ভলান্টারি করেছি, আমি সেখানে টক দেব। So that's where I come about developing research culture. I'm taking a bit of time on this. I will come to my talk after that. That you first have to acknowledge that every university teacher should be inherently a researcher. That should be your DNA. আমি এখানে বলতাম যখন আমার PhD, আমি রিসার্চ কালচার ডেভেলপের জন্য আমি কিন্তু I used to talk. Not everyone liked it, but I used to say. So what is the difference between a college teacher, a school teacher, and a university teacher? Because that's what I have seen when I was a university student. Every single teacher are publishing, going to conferences. Our department every year conference arrangement. So every university teacher should be a researcher, and universities must facilitate. University can facilitate individually, of course, and academic staff have to consider research as an integral part of their career. If you want to be a university teacher, if you want to continue this, as an academic, you have to be a researcher. Otherwise, look somewhere else, my advice. And for that reason, you have to fall in love with your subject. You have to be passionate about your subject. I'll come to that. So that's why every academic should aspire to be a PhD, to do a PhD. That's the minimum. PhD is not the end, it's the beginning. Okay? Not to have doctor in front of your name. Our PhD, to be honest, again, having doctor in front of name was something very romantic. You have a doctor in front of your name. It's nothing. It's just naam the doctor laga. That's nothing. Okay? It's about you get the certificate, you learn how to do research. Okay? And then you do research in the area you are passionate about. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, you won't be successful. আর আমি একটা জিনিস মনে করি, আমি যে ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়াই, আমাদের একটা মোটো আছে, teaching led research informed teaching. Research informed teaching means you teach in the area of your expertise. আমি যেসব এরিয়াতে আমার এক্সপার্টিস আছে, আমি ওইসব এরিয়াতে মেইনলি পড়াই। দুই একটা এমন হতে পারে যে আমার এক্সপার্টিস না আমি পড়াচ্ছি, অলওয়েজ 100% পাওয়া যায় না, বাট 90% of my teaching is in the area of my research. So I bring my research into my teaching, and this gives the opportunity for students to have a published researcher in front of them, talk about the research which is relevant to their subject, so that they can ask questions and learn from that experience. Okay? And then this will also bring passion into your teaching. When I one of the things that, even when I was not doing a lot of research in Bangladesh, it's always been because I've always loved my subject. I've always been a passionate teacher. I teach with passion. There are boring class student that has never been my case. Is there any of my former students here? One or two? No. I mean, you are all beyond my students. Farzana and Mahbub, they were my students. They will remember. Interestingly, our latest PhD student was my student in Darul Islam University. Then he went to Saudi Arabia to teach. 20 years later, he wanted to do PhD, and he said, "Sir, I will do under your supervision." And then he sent a proposal and said, "It's our area of expertise." So he molded it, and then within my areas of expertise, share a PhD should. So, because I always teach with passion, even now, always. Probably this is my last slide before I go into the main topic. As I mentioned, researchers have to be passionate about the subject or topic, and you must target publishing in reputed journals. One of the things I've seen in Bangladeshi culture is universities have their own journals, but quality of publication is very low. I've seen a lot of publications. It's difficult to get published in peer-reviewed journals. It's a process. You start. One of the things what happens when you send your paper to an established journal, that they will refuse. If they can refuse, it's not a problem. We also get rejected. Don't think that no one gets rejected. Everyone gets rejected, everyone gets accepted as well. But that rejection is extremely useful, because what they do is they tell you where the problems are and where you need to work on. So it gives you a very expert comments. I do a lot of peer review. 7-8 journals, they send me articles to review. International journals, Routledge, Sage, all top journals, they send me articles, I review, I reject. Sometimes I don't, I give advice for improvement. That's part of the process. Don't get disheartened if you get refused, but be part of the process. Because there is no shortcut for publication. Bangladesh has a shortcut system also. Bangladeshi culture. One example, I will not name university or anything, but I heard. Nije journal publish করেছে university teacher, nije journal Bangladesh's public university, top university, nije journal publish করেছে. So I open a journal, and then I submit my paper to my journal. Then I accept my journal, my article, and then I publish it, and then show it for my promotion. It is true. This is absolutely true. I hope this culture কমেছে, but I don't know. But I mean, recently I had the experience. This is where I would come. আমি শেখ মুজিবের 7ই মার্চের ভাষণের উপর একটা পেপার লিখেছি. Okay, but I have not published it yet because I intend to write a book where this chapter will be there. So when I was searching, I did a critical discourse analysis of the 7th March speech to find out whether he declared independence or not. Politically, you do research and then you say.
It's from the perspective of discourse analysis.
Critical discourse analysis. So what you see that what happened before 7th March, what happened after 7th March, was এবারে সংগ্রাম, মুক্তি সংগ্রাম, এবারে সংগ্রাম, স্বাধীনতা সংগ্রাম, was it a declaration of independence or not? I proved it's not. Obviously it's not, but I proved through using critical discourse analysis. Alright. But while doing that, I did extensive research on Bangladesh's history, 71 history. I mean, অবাক হয়ে গেছি, almost zero authentic publication. You know how I decided which is authentic or not? কিছু পাকিস্তানি রিসার্চ দেখেছি, ওরা biased, আর বাংলাদেশের মধ্যে শেখ মুজিবকে যেই কখন বঙ্গবন্ধু বলেছে, I discarded it. বঙ্গবন্ধু is not his name. এটাকে টাইটেল দেওয়া আছে, politically টাইটেল দেওয়া হয়েছে. Lots of articles on Sheikh Mujib. No research. It's just, you don't write articles, academic articles in university publication to praise someone. So that is not, your research has to be objective, right? This is subjective. You love the guy and you're writing a research paper about him. It doesn't make sense. দিস ইজ আমি বলবো কি এটা একেবারে একটা শূন্য জায়গা।